Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ash-Phalt, a podcast all about life on the road. I'm your host, Ash Taylor, and today we have a very special guest, Miss Krystal King. Krystal, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, of course. Thank you for being here. I've gotten to know you, for a couple years now. I know we've played some shows together, written a song or two, and I just love you. I love what you do. You're such a sweet, talented, wonderful person. And when we were getting ready to launch this podcast, you were one of the first people that came to mind where I was like, I got to get Krystal on for an episode. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Right back at you. You're hilarious and very, very sweet. So we need to hang out more often. I don't know why we have not written or hung out more, but we've got to make that happen.
Yes. I totally.
Life makes it hard for sure.
Yes. I was going to say, I think probably because we both are on the road a lot and doing our stuff, but it's always good to see you. Mm-hmm. So, for people that are maybe new to you, please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, kind of how you got into music.
So I am originally from Hickory, North Carolina. And grew up just loving music. I fell in love with Alan Jackson at a young age and kind of always said I wanted to be a country singer, which was kind of strange because I'm not from a musical family, like whatsoever. But just fell in love with it and kind of had it in my bones. Went to college in Boone. I studied music therapy. Worked in that for a little bit, but eventually just kind of kept coming back to wanting to perform and be an artist. So moved to Nashville about 7-8 years ago, which is crazy. Time is flying. And just been doing music full time for the past 4 or 5 years, and just been on the road a lot, touring, recording music, releasing it, all the things.
That's amazing. So it sounds like you and I actually moved to town, I guess, right about the same time. Because I think I've been here, I think it's August will be 8 years for me. So that's amazing.
Yeah, about the same time.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, clearly this podcast, we're kind of talking all about life on the road and all. So out of curiosity, do you remember your first paying gig? How old were you? What was that like? Do you even remember it?
I think it was, and I'm trying to remember if it was paid or just tips. I think it was paid, but it was a coffee shop in North Carolina. Mm. It was called Copper Bean, and I think I knew a couple people that played there. And my guitar teacher at the time was really good about encouraging, his students to get out and actually play in the real world and kind of help me write my first few songs. And I think he hosted some open mic nights there and kind of got me plugged in. So I think that was my first full length, 2-3 hour gig. And I remember, I had all my sheets printed out in the paper and flip book. Didn't have iPads yet and cell phones. But yeah, I think that was probably my first paid gig.
Wow. Did you just feel on top of the world? Were you just oh my gosh, I can do this and someone will pay me? What was that emotionally for you?
I was very nervous.
Really?
Very nervous. I always loved performing and would kind of get that high off of it, but I also kind of had a little bit of stage fright, where I was just kind of awkward. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't really talk much, and I just sat really still and sang my song, and then would flip to the next page and sing another one. The entertainer portion kind of took me a while to get a hold on. Even when I moved to Nashville, I don't feel like I was good at that part. It took me some practice and some time to really find my stride. And I think finally what helped me find that is just letting go of what's cool and what we think people want to see. And I just let go and was my dorky self and said off the wall things that people wouldn't expect from me. And then they, it kind of break the ice. And so I think that kind of hit my stride when you just kind of let go of those preconceived notions of what people want to see or hear, or how you're supposed to act on stage. And you just kind of lean into yourself.
Oh, I love that you said that though, because just like you, I remember my first gig was at a bar, actually in North Carolina. And I think it was 3 hours, and I think they paid me $100. And I thought I was the coolest thing. I was like, wow, this is awesome. But like you, it's like I was really nervous. I don't think I talked at all. Or maybe I talked too much because, the nerves. But I agree. Like, I think, I always think of things like songwriting and performing and just all this. I always like to think of it like a muscle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you got to be exercising it in order to get better at it, which is why you just got to show up and keep doing it and hopefully improving. But I also love that you're like just being yourself, because there's only one Krystal King, right? And it's like, I love that about you, that you're so like authentic. Like, yeah, this is who I am. And it's just your personality. I wouldn't want you to be different. So I love that.
I think I embarrassed like my touring partner this past trip, because I think I definitely made like a bathroom or poop joke on stage. She was like, "Oh my gosh, no!" A few people in the crowd like were like uncomfortable. And I was like, "I don't care, whatever."
Yeah, listen, I always enjoy a good poop joke.
Humor's the best.
Yeah, well, we can't take ourselves too serious. Everyone poops, and I love that. I'm just starting this podcast. We're already talking about poop and stuff. It's going to be great, guys. We're already diving in. I love it. Well, so I love too, like, congratulations on being able to do music full time for so long. That's a big deal. It's a pretty cutthroat industry, as we all know. So congrats to you on that. What does like touring look like for you nowadays? Are you in a car, a bus, a van? What, like, are your shows full band, acoustic? Kind of what kind of shows are you playing nowadays? What are you doing?
Yeah. So it is a wide variety of setups. So some stuff I do is full band, some stuff I do solo or duo. I just came back from Florida with my friend Kirsty Kraus, and we're separate artists, but sometimes we just like to tour together and do shows together. A lot of times it is driving. I have a minivan, town and country, and total mom car. Even has like the little like visor that you can like watch the kids in the back seat.
Oh, fancy! Excuse us.
And like the seats will fold down. You don't have to take them out. But if they're up, you can still use like the floorboard storage, which is nice, extra floorboard storage. So usually I travel in my minivan. Her name's Priscilla, by the way. And so she mostly has traveled for like solo or duo shows. She did have one full band trip recently where we fit me and 3 other guys in the van, plus drum kit, amps, guitars, all the stuff. It was just like a 3-hour run from where we were. So we kind of like turned and burned and came back. But yeah, it's kind of all over the board, but usually driving, just because a lot of times you have to bring your own sound equipment, and that's just a lot to deal with when it comes to flying. That's just too much. And so when I do full band stuff, a lot of times I'll find local guys, just because it makes it a little easier. So I'll play like in North Carolina, where I have some go-to people, or if I'm in Tennessee, I'll pull people from Nashville. So just kind of whoever's closest and whoever's available. But that kind of does help cut down on all the coordinating of like hotels and housing and
That's awesome. I can tell, clearly I knew this about you, but it's so evident, that you are a businesswoman. And I love that you have like, your people, in this spot, you have your people in Nashville, you got options. Cause that's one thing I feel like is really hard when you have to bring your own PA system, pay the bass player and the guitar player and the drummer. And like, you're right. Like it can be a lot. So I love that you kind of have it all worked out and a good plan. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wish sometimes that I had like my go-to people that played with me all the time. I'm sure my sound would be a lot tighter, but but because I do such a mix between solo and band shows, this is just easier and smarter.
I agree. I think it's super smart. So I have to ask this question. Why is the van named Priscilla?
So my husband gave her that name, and I was actually on the road whenever he was purchasing the car, and he was like, "Yeah, I think we should name her Priscilla." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, my grandma's named Priscilla." And I was like, "No, she's not. Like her name's Kay. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah, well, she goes by Kay, but her first name's Priscilla." He was like, "But she has to go by Kay because they also named her other sister Priscilla." And I was like, that's some Southern shit there.
That really is. That really is. I have like, okay, so one of my really good friends who actually was my roommate for like years and years, her name is Sam, right? And so she would only go by Sam. I'm like, Samantha. She's like, So come to find out, they basically, her parents named her Sam. And then like after she was born, like a few months later, got a cat and they named the cat Sam as well. And so like, so
Did we just run out of names?
I guess so. Or it's like, oh, I really like the name Priscilla, so I'm going to have two kids in name. Like, I think that is a Southern thing.
Well, come to find out, we did realize later that my husband had the story wrong, and it actually was like her sister-in-law. So, but we kind of just liked that story better, so we just keep telling that one.
Take some liberties. That's a more interesting story. Yeah.
Right.
I also love, though, that you named the van. So props to your husband for that. I think that's hilarious. I name everything. So, like, we do a lot of, like, fly dates and stuff like that. But we actually somehow own 2 Kia Souls. Like, not one, 2.
2.
I bought one in, like, 2016. And when I used to go out of town and do like solo acoustic shows, I drove that car all over the country and I loved it. And then, my husband and I got married. And so we had to buy another car. And I mean, we test drove a bunch. We like the Kia Souls, like you're saying, like a minivan. I mean, it's like you can put gear in it. It's got like all the nice stuff. It's awesome. So we have 2 Kia Souls, but we named, one Johnny, so he's like a black Kia Soul, so that's Johnny. And then we got the new Kia Soul, which is like this really pretty like blue color, and it's like super fancy and all. And we named that June. So we have Johnny and June.
Aww.
That's our fleet, if you will, of touring Kia Souls. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't name my last car, but my first one was named Gramps because he was like an 89 Oldsmobile. He was a total old man car with like the bench seats and yeah.
That's a great name. That's a great name.
He even had like a name tag. I put like a nameplate on the front of him one day.
Yeah. I love that. So you were mentioning that you have kind of like another artist that basically like you'll go out and like do shows with from time to time. Even though you're both separate artists, you kind of do like shows together, kind of like a duo. Tell us about that. Like, is that something you enjoy, just being able to share the stage and kind of, feed off of each other? Like, what is that like?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Me and Kirsty have been doing shows together for 3 years now.
Wow.
And then occasionally, I'll go on the road with other artists. Actually, I'm going to Texas with Taylor Hughes in November. So it's not always the same person, but Kirsty's kind of been one of the more consistent ones, and gone on the road quite a bit with her. And she's just an incredible artist, incredible human, and we just have so much fun. And as far as like road dogging, it really helps because you have somebody to split the driving time, split the gas with. Even like taking care of your voice on tour. Like if you're doing so many dates after a week of doing 3-hour shows every day, you get physically tired, your voice gets fatigued. So kind of having somebody to help take the weight off of that for you. But it's also fun to just collaborate on stage, like make jokes and like bicker back and forth and have your banter and sing harmonies together. It just makes it fun. And it's not all on you, which is super nice. So I'm very, very blessed that she called me up for tour a few years ago, and then it worked out and kind of has just been a really good thing.
Yeah, I love that though. And especially like that, the one thing I personally feel, and I don't know if you relate to this, but I used to love going out and playing shows by myself. But like you said, when you're doing especially longer sets and like multiple in a week, it will kill you. It's tough on the vocal cords and just, you have no energy. So I love being able, though, to have other people join me on stage, whether it's another artist. But what I've noticed, like, because I'm usually used to my husband who plays lead guitar for me and he does harmonies. And if it's a longer set, I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a break, sing a few, and so, we've done that now for years and it's wonderful. But when I have to play a show now, like just last week, I went downtown and played a show by myself. And it felt so empty because like no one was singing harmony. No one was laughing at my wonderful dad jokes. I was putting out some straight up fire.
Bangers.
Bangers. I mean, these jokes were they were so good though. They were so bad that they were good. But I was like, just driving by yourself. Like, I mean, maybe that's why I just wanted to start my own podcast, because I used to drive for hours by myself and just listen to podcasts. So, but it's like, but yeah, so I really, though, like when I'm by myself, I miss having someone there because I feel like it's empty, just musically, but also like, in a sense, just empty. Like, where's my people at, right?
Right. No, I agree. I mean, I love doing solo shows, and it can be really fun, especially if you get the artist, or not the artist, especially if you get the audience interacting. It could be a blast, but it is so much energy to constantly be keeping up with that. We're like, I feel like you can kind of have a minute to breathe when you're on stage with the other artists. Obviously you're still on stage. You still have to like be in that performance mode, but it does give you a second to breathe and be like, okay, what actually am I going to sing next? Like, okay, what story can I tell? Not just having to be like, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, and it's just funny, like the amount of things that goes on in your head, like while you're singing a song. People think you're just thinking about the song, and you're like, no, I have like 20 other thoughts going on right now.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I also don't know if you do this, but like I'll be playing a song and I'll like be looking out at the crowd and I'll literally be like, oh, I really like his shirt. and like, I mean, just, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, what am I doing next? I don't know. What am I having for dinner after this? I mean, I may be a little ADD. I'm a little all over the place, but
same here.
You know what? It makes it work.
Usually I get distracted by dogs in the crowd. That's my kryptonite there. Like, I'm like, puppy. I have been known with Kirsty to like run off stage and be like, you sing a song. I'm going to go pet this dog. Or should we let Krystal come back? No, you can't jump off the stage right now. I need you.
Krystal, I think this is why we're friends, truthfully. Because I actually try to bring my dog Mel, our golden retriever, with us as much as I can when we go out of town to play shows. And if I can't, if it's a fly date or too busy of a run, then she has my best friend Scotty watches her, and for her that's like a vacation, going to Uncle Scotty's house. So I feel good about leaving her, but when there is a dog at the show, it makes my life. And I will literally just go stop and pet the dog. I mean, so I love that you do that. But
I do.
They say like animals though, it's like, you think about like pet therapy and all that. I feel so much calmer when there is a dog around. I really do.
I love it. I do too. I do too. I even brought one. There was like a dog in the audience at one show that it was his birthday. So I brought him up on stage to sing him happy birthday. And it was so funny because I didn't know this, and they didn't tell me. They just like handed me the leash and let me take him up on stage. But I picked him up, and apparently they were like, he doesn't like being picked up, but I was already up on stage, so they couldn't do anything. And they were like scared he was going to like try to bite me or something. But that dog was like the happiest dog. He was just chilling, letting me hold him. And they're like, okay, he's totally fine. This isn't bothering him at all. He is eating this up.
Oh, that's adorable. That is so cute. So I know, because I came over to your house to write, I know that you have a real cute dog. Tell us about your puppy dog.
Oh, yeah. So his name was Bowberry Biscuit. I don't know if you knew this. He passed about a year ago.
Are you serious?
Totally fine. I still have like t-shirts and koozies and stickers of his face. But yeah, his name was Bowberry Biscuit, and he was the best. He was a Labradoodle, but unfortunately
Krystal, I'm so sorry.
About a year ago. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't really post about it. I thought about it like a lot of times, and then I was like, I don't know. He's just like, he was like too sacred for social media for me. So I just never really other than when I would always post like pictures of him playing and stuff when he was around. But I just was like, it felt weird talking about it on social media. So.
I got you. Yeah, I remember you gave me a sticker with his face on it, and he was a good boy. But I am so sorry. I did not know that, or else I would have not brought that up. But that breaks my heart.
Totally okay. It's totally okay.
Yeah. No, I get that though. I think pets are just part of the family. I mean, they really are.
Yeah. So I totally he was our soul dog for sure, and he loved to travel with us too when he could.
Yeah.
I remember we played a show in Wisconsin. It was I was with Kirsty, but my husband also came along on that trip and played drums with us.
Oh, cool.
So we were on stage, me and my husband, and our dog was like tied to a picnic table, and Kirsty's parents were kind of keeping an eye on him. But they got like a little distracted talking to some people, and there was this little boy walking by with a hot dog. And my dog was great with kids, but not so great with hot dogs and not so great with food. And he was getting a little too close to my dog, and me and my husband on stage were like, I was like on the mic, and I was like, no, but no. And I was like, Percy's parents, pay attention. Pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention, pay attention. Oh, I think that's hilarious though. Oh my gosh. I love that. What a sweet boy. I mean, I get that. I mean, sometimes when you're at these like festivals, especially or outside shows and they got food cooking, you're like, what is that? I mean, I'm kind of that way.
I mean, this dog was food obsessed. I don't know if
Wow.
I've ever met a dog so food driven. Like literally, like I mean, he would like watch you while you eat, and people like my friend would be like, "Why he's begging? You need to teach him not to." I was like, "You're lucky that like he's just sitting there looking at you." Like when we first got him, he would like literally like shake like he wanted it so bad.
Oh
Like
my
you could
gosh.
physically see him like trying.
He's like, come on, guys. Come on. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Well, I wanted to talk to you about this album that you recently put out. Please tell us all about this record. It's fantastic. I actually was listening to it the other day and I'm like, this is awesome, girl.
That is a 7-song project just released fully March 28th. And we did the album release party in Nashville, but I've been kind of gradually releasing singles from it for like over a year. It's been kind of a long process, but you know, as independent artists, you put a lot of time and energy and money into the project, so you want to milk it for as long as humanly possible.
Yep.
So I finally put the full thing out, and it's kind of most of the songs are upbeat. There's only like 2 slower ones, but they all kind of have like a little bit darker of a theme. They're all kind of like relationshipy, either leaving song, cheating song, murder your husband song, that friendly thing there. Um, so it's a vibe though. It's my earlier stuff was a lot more like honky tonk country, and this was a little bit more of that like rootsy blues rock country.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun just playing with the sound, and I didn't really have like a true producer. I get like I guess I produced it, but I don't really like to say that because I didn't really do much. It was more just the musicians we brought in, and then in post production and like the mixing process, you know, the producers I would work with kind of helped to piece everything together. But it was really cool. I was really nervous because at first, you know, it was really hard getting the sound I wanted, and it finally just kind of came together in such a hodgepodge way because we like recorded it here, and then some people would send me parts, and then we would take out parts and then have somebody else come in. Like, so it was such a weird, not efficient process, but it finally came together, and I was just really proud of it and excited about it. So
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. It's a great job. And is it called Pretty Poison, right? Is the name of that record. And so if people want to go check it out and stream it, where can they find it?
it's on all the platforms. So YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the places. So you can download it or you can stream it. Also, if you go to my website, you can order the hard copy of the CD. So krystalkingmusic.com. And yeah,
Go
I'm
check
super
it out, guys.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to release, I haven't really announced this officially yet, but I'm going to release probably in a few weeks some live tracks from the album release party. So
Oh,
we did get
awesome.
some recordings of that, and I just got back some of the mixes. So we're going to
Woo.
kind of post those and just keep the celebration of the album going.
Oh, absolutely. I also love live tracks and live recording. So I just literally got so excited when you said that. I'm like, really? Like, this is great. Like, I'd be on the lookout for that.
I was not planning to do that at all. I recorded it at the 5 spot because they did have multi-track audio and they provided video. But I honestly was just planning to do video and post the videos. But the tracks turned out really good. You know, I kind of went in with like low expectations because I practiced with the band like the day of. Like
Right.
we didn't do like a full rehearsal or we worked out parts. We just kind of were like, okay, this is good enough. As long as we start and end together, we're good.
Right. Right.
But it all turned out great. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna make the most of that and release some live tracks.
I love that. I love that. I think that's the thing about being on the road and playing music live is like I don't know about you, but I've never played a perfect show. Like I will go through a whole show and I'm like, not even if I don't make a major mistake, but I'm like, I could have hit that note better. Maybe I didn't hit that note. Maybe or I think of things I could have done with the crowd, like afterwards or
Mhm.
something. And so I think it's like you're never going to play a perfect show though. And I've never heard anyone say you will. But that's what I love about like listening to live tracks is the fact of it's real, it's raw, it's human. The fact that it's not overly produced and it's just a totally new experience. That's how I look at it. So
Mhm.
I love that. Like I'm probably going to listen to all the hell out of all those tracks, Krystal, because I'm like, I already enjoyed your record though. So to get that,
Thank
that
you.
extra real live thing,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah,
So
so I
good.
think it'll be about four tracks
Love
that we're
it.
gonna do live. So three are from the album, and then one is a song that I wrote with my friend Laura Rebel, and she released, and it was actually my very first cut ever. But I was featuring some of my songwriting cuts during the show too, and that one turned out really well. So I'm gonna add it in for just like a little new thing.
I
Um,
love it.
so
I
yeah.
love it. And now, are you also doing Pretty Poison, like a I guess a tour? Would you say to kind of also promote this?
Yeah. I mean, I think it wasn't really planned out in my head to be like the Pretty Poison tour, but I just happened to have a lot of shows
Yeah,
after the album release. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna slap the name on it. We're gonna
do
call
it.
it the Pretty Poison tour. Yeah. So um, or I went to Florida this month. I'm heading to Texas, North
Mm,
Carolina again. And I think I was just in North Carolina last month. So far, I mean, we're in April and
yeah,
or no, we're in May. We're in May now.
we are.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
so I think so far this year I've been to New Orleans, Florida twice. I think I've been to North Carolina. Yeah, twice to North Carolina already.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm about to head to Texas and North Carolina again. Yeah, and lots more through the end of the year. So
That's awesome. Well, you guys definitely should go, if you're listening, go catch Krystal out on the road. She's wonderful, phenomenal. Where can they go see a list of all your tour dates that you would be at?
yeah, so my website's kind of the one-stop shop. So crystalkingmusic.com. And if you're listening, just remember it's with a K and not a C. Crystal with a K, like the burgers.
That is important. That is important. Well, yes, you guys definitely go to her website, check out her music, give her a follow on social media, and go support her at a show. So that's awesome. I wanted to, a while ago when we were talking about the type of shows now you play, you were talking about vocal health. So can you maybe share with us, some things that you do while you're out on the road to kind of take care of your voice, your mental, physical, just well being while you're always
Mhm.
constantly out there on the go.
Yeah. I don't do this as much like on the road just because it's kind of hard to find a place, but if I need
Yeah.
to, I can. But I usually do voice lessons like twice a week.
Nice.
I do
Yeah.
them on Zoom, so I can do them from the road if needed, if I can find a quiet spot. Sometimes it's a little hard, especially if you're sharing a house with people and you're like, I don't want to wake you up doing my like
Right.
crazy things. But I do that twice a week just kind of to maintain vocal health.
Mm,
And if I need her, I can call her anytime and she'll help me through some exercises. But I also know the exercises at this point. So I just try to make sure to warm up at every show, drink a lot of water. Um, Throat coat tea is a great one
mm,
if you're feeling scratchy, that can help soothe a little bit. Manuka honey, I've
mm.
noticed, is something my vocal coach told me about, and I'll either put that in the tea, or if I'm starting to feel kind of scratchy, I'll just like eat a spoonful of it.
Nice.
So that's another big thing. Yeah, I think just also to making sure you have some time to yourself, even if it's just a few minutes to be like, "Whew, okay."
Yes.
Because I know I can get kind of flustered and kind of like just scattered because there's so much going on. And, on the road, I think that's one of the hardest things is finding the moment to like slow down and also like have some alone time. I get overstimulated.
Yeah.
So finding some space for that, even though it can be hard. But knowing when to like cut yourself off, like you can't stay, like, you want to be a good artist and friend and, you know, give yourself to the fans. But there does have to be like a cutoff limit where you're like, okay, I actually have to go to bed right now. Like this extra hour of staying up is gonna like make me miserable tomorrow. So like
Right.
learning how to be like, okay, I need to Irish goodbye it and and go to bed.
Yes, absolutely. That's all really, really great advice. That's one thing when I was starting this podcast, I just, I feel like when I actually started going out and touring, I think a lot of people think life on the road is kind of like really glamorous, and it's really this and that. And I love, by the way, how I said really glamorous and you just shook your head no. It's like we know, but I think a lot of people maybe don't know what it's really really like. And so I think to kind of have this behind the scenes curtain, or if you yourself are maybe starting out in music and you want to tour and do this professionally, like listen to Krystal. Like that's some really great advice, because I wish someone would have told me this when I started going out, because I didn't, and I used to do it to where I would go play down on Broadway here in Nashville. I did this for a year of my life, where I went down on Broadway and I would play 3 to 4 nights a week, which is 3 to 4 hour sets by myself, no break. And I mean, I'd play straight through. And then on the weekends, I would hop in Johnny Cash, my little Kia Soul, and I would go, drive somewhere and play. And as much as I love that, though, it's like, I hurt myself, it was just very unhealthy. And it's like, if someone would have told me this great advice of like taking some time and maybe getting a partner, like another artist that could come help. And all this is just so great. So thank you for being open and honest and sharing. I just think that's so awesome.
Yeah. I would say another piece of advice. I just got this and it was a game changer. My husband got me a car refrigerator for Christmas.
Huh.
It's like this like tall blue cooler, but you don't necessarily have to put ice in it or anything. So you actually, it comes with a plug, like a cigarette lighter plug or like a regular outlet, and a handle, and you can like fill it up. And it also has a heating option too. So if you have like leftovers that you want to keep warm, you can take it out and go on the road. So it does take up like a little bit of space, but it fits right nicely, like between the two seats in my van, like right behind the console. Sorry, I swallowed water a second ago.
Oh, you're good.
Forgot how to drink, apparently.
It happens.
And so, yeah, it sits there nicely. And that kind of was like a huge thing when we were on the road this last time, because I was like actually able to take sandwich meat or, because sometimes we'll pack a cooler, but it's still like meat and stuff like that. Like you kind of, after like 7-8 hours, even in a cooler, you're kind of like, especially if you're taking it in and out of fridges. So this was a game changer to actually be able to like take decent food. Cause I eat a lot better actually on the road sometimes, which is weird because I think I try to save money and I don't like stop and eat out a whole lot. So I eat like a lot of like snack bars and fruit and like things like that sometimes whenever I'm at home, I might choose the unhealthier option.
Right.
But I eat what I have in the car. So I actually kind of eat a little bit better. I just have to make sure I'm eating enough, because sometimes, you get kind of busy and you forget, but I get hangry. So make sure you're eating enough.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great advice. Cause that's the thing I don't think a lot of people understand is, I know for me, sometimes like especially if we're doing like a festival or something, we are just working all day long. And it's like, I won't eat sometimes. Like I remember when we kicked off the tour that I did this last year, we kicked it off at, in Indiana, at Sweetwater Sound at their headquarters. And we had a great time. The first day though, it started at 6 a.m. I got done at about a little past midnight. I ate my first meal of the day at midnight. So it's like, I didn't eat the whole day. I technically ate the next day. And it's like, so again, please listen to Krystal, because having even fruit or a snack bar or beef jerky or something like that, I'm like, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause sometimes like, well, my body's weird. Either I get like starvation hungry where I'm like, I'm like shaking, or or it's like my body goes into like that numb, like just tired mode where, and then I'm like, I'm going to fall asleep. And then I'm like, oh, have I eaten? So yeah, just being in tune with that in your body. But like you said, like touring is touring is hard. It's definitely not the glamorous lifestyle that people think it is. There can be moments that look glamorous and that are super fun and cool. But yeah, a lot of times you're sleeping in a smelly place on an air mattress that's deflating during the middle of the night. And
Yes. So true. So true. Well, I have a series of questions for you. We kind of call this the road rundown. So here's some fun questions for you to answer to kind of give us an idea. So the first one is, what's one thing that you do not leave home without?
well, my guitar for starters.
Spoken like a true musician, y'all. Heck yeah.
Yeah, like I think as long as I have my guitar, like I can buy everything else. Well, and being the nerd that I am, I have to make sure I have my contacts and my retainer. Because those are things I cannot buy on the road. Everything else
Yeah.
I can pick up. I can buy a new capo. I can buy a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Preferably I'd like to take my pillow because it's, again, you just sleep better when you have like your pillow. So
Definitely. Makes a lot
that
of
was
sense.
more than one thing, but there you go.
You know what? We'll let this pass. We won't give you too hard of a time.
Well, this one. Okay, one more. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm old school and I use a paper planner, and that is like, I live by that thing. So I have to have my paper planner with me.
Okay. So no judgment actually here. I love that you said that because I have a paper planner. So I drive my husband crazy, but okay. To me, I love a paper planner. Like, and I put everything in my phone, right? Everything's there. I also have a, so I have it in my phone. I also have, like, over here in my office on the side wall, I actually have like a 4-month calendar, right? So it's like 4 months, and I go through and I fill it out, and I actually write like everything down in there. But then I have my paper planner where I also write everything out. But to me, there's something about, if I write something down, I will always remember it. Mm-hmm. Like, putting it in my phone, I mean, I may forget something, but if I write it down, there's something about it just clicks in my memory. I can't explain it, just the way it is. So.
I'm weird too. Yeah.
Again, that's probably why we're friends. We're weirdos. We pet dogs, and we, write in paper calendars. We're old school. Yeah. It's all good. You were talking about bringing your guitar. So, like, when you're going out, and playing shows, is there like particular pieces of gear that you bring? Like, what's like your main guitar that you use? Do you bring your own microphone? Like, what kind of gear do you bring with you?
So I usually bring, well, it's kind of like my main guitar is my Taylor. It's a 314 CE.
Nice.
But I also do have an X Special Series Martin that I'll take with me. And a big reason for that one is it's a little bit smaller body, so it's a little lighter, but it's also got the fiberglass sides and back. Yeah. Which is a little bit better for, like, when I go to Florida and it's like salty and humid, and just a little bit better for the wood. In general, that's not affected as much. And then I usually always bring my own microphone, just out of habit now. And my cup holder, my little like microphone cup holder for my water, and my phone stand. I have to have those, or my like my big items. So those just kind of always live in my guitar case, and I have no matter what.
That's awesome. That's great. So if you have to stop into a gas station, what is your go-to, whether it's healthy or not, what is your go-to favorite snack? What are you grabbing?
Ooh, probably Doritos.
Yeah. Like nacho cheese or Cool Ranch?
Sometimes it changes. Oh, actually, I just realized I feel like an idiot. This whole time, I thought Cool Ranch Doritos were the original Doritos, and apparently it's the nacho cheese ones.
No way, really?
I had it mixed up. Yeah, my whole life.
Oh, wow.
I thought the Cool Ranch was the original.
I mean, I don't know. So, well, a lot of people do enjoy the Cool Ranch Doritos. So they would probably say they should be. Yeah, they probably think that should be the original. But yeah, Doritos are great though. I mean, those are such a popular snack.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah, Doritos are probably my go-to like snack at the gas station, and then it depends as far as drinks. If I tend to go for like coffee. Yeah. I mostly drink like water on the road, but occasionally I'll need like a Red Bull or a soda or something.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's like your favorite soda to grab? Do you have like a favorite one where you're like this?
Probably like uh, cherry vanilla Coke.
Yeah, yeah. It's good stuff. Is there currently one of your songs that you play in your set, every show that you just love? Like it's your favorite song in the set? Do you have one?
Ooh, um, I always like singing. Well, so there's one that's unreleased that I really do love. It's called Hoedown.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's like
Uh-huh.
it's a fighting song. So that one or Mind Your Own Backyard is always a fun one, the murder
Yeah.
one. And that one's always just fun because I just like seeing people's reactions whenever I start talking about that.
Well, I mean, who doesn't love a good murder song?
Right.
It's like, come on. Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think I've heard you play both of those before, either playing with you or at one of your shows. And they're fun though. I mean, I
Yeah.
love fun songs.
I do too. I do too. And I mean, I love breaking out like some of my sad ones or my more meaningful ones as well.
Sure.
But those are just always fun because like usually it's almost kind of like a shock factor thing for people too. Like I think they don't expect me to say something like that, and then whenever I do, it's just like, whoa, where did
What?
that come from?
Right.
And
Yes.
that's always amusing to me being on the stage.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Do you have any kind of like a pre-show ritual that you do before you're about to hop on stage?
Oh, mostly just the warm ups, and I usually do that in the car on the way over. Um, yeah, no, I don't really have anything major or weird that I do right before getting on stage. Yeah, just usually just hop on up and get to
Hey,
it.
nothing wrong with that. I know some people are like, I do stretches, I do warm ups. I like some people do a lot of different things, but I guess we're all just different, right?
Yeah,
Some
I mean,
people that may work.
I would like to say that I do, and I probably should do more of that. But I think
Mhm.
just the reality of being on the road, you drive and then you get there, you set up and you go. So I try to
Yeah.
do my warm ups in the car, but you get what you get.
Yeah. 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 No, I totally get
I
it.
don't have enough time or energy to be like a diva about it and do like a million things.
Yeah. Girl, I get it. It's true. I think that's something that a lot of people though don't even think of. It's like in order to perform at a high level, it's like being able to do warm-ups and have enough sleep and drink water.
Right.
It's all part of it for sure.
I do remember playing one show and we were sharing a green room with this other band, and my bass player was like standing in the corner doing like high knees very intensely, and he was doing like these weird like jujitsu like stretches, and we were like, "What, you doing, bud?"
What are you
He's
doing?
like, "I'm
Yeah.
doing my stretches."
That's hilarious. They're probably like, what the hell?
Yeah, 'cause there was this whole other band that we'd never met, and I had never seen my bass player do these things. He was like, "Yeah, I had to move a lot of things yesterday," so he was intensely doing his high knees.
Oh my
And we were like,
gosh.
get after it, bud."
I mean, you know what? Good for him. He's taking care of
Oh,
himself.
he
Don't make
was.
fun. Yeah.
No,
We're
no,
going to support that.
we all should have been doing it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's setting a good example. Good guy right there. I know clearly you play a bunch of shows and you have for years and all clearly, but is there maybe like one show that really sticks out in your mind where you're like, man, I think that was like just my favorite show, like the best show I've ever played?
Ooh, the best show I've ever played. Hmm. I mean, there's definitely a few. I was kind of thinking about. I played the VIP lounge
Oh,
at Ascend
cool.
Amphitheater for the Lainey Wilson concert last year.
Awesome.
Um, and my husband played with me on Cajon, and that
Oh,
was we hadn't played together in a while. But I just felt like I was on a good one as far as like my jokes and my interaction with the crowd. Um, made actually a there was a family there that I've stayed in touch with. They lived in North Carolina and they've come out to a ton of my shows since then. But just had one of those like magical like interaction days. Like some of my
yeah.
favorites aren't necessarily like the ones on like the big stage, but they're kind of like the ones where you're on the ground and you can like really interact with the audience.
Mm,
And I think that was one of them. And obviously they were there to see Laney Wilson, so like my style was like a great fit for that. And me and my husband just had a really good bit going on as far as like our marriage. Like literally there was somebody in the audience that were like, "Do you ever let him speak?" And I was like, "No, not really. He just, he sits here and looks pretty." And then he like wound up saying something like a few minutes later, and like literally everybody in the audience goes, "He speaks," and like cheered really loud, and just, you know, and then somebody came up and they were like, "Yeah, y'all are the epitome of a married couple." Like
Aw.
it was just funny, and how we all like bonded over those little things.
Oh, that's amazing though. I love too that, from time to time you're able to play music with your husband. Clearly I do that as well. So I think we can kind of relate to each other in that. Do you feel like it's special getting to like play music with your husband? Like there's just like kind of like more of a connection than just, anybody else. Do you kind of, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I love getting to play with him whenever I can. He's a music teacher, so he's got music in his life constantly. So
Yeah.
we don't play together as much just because we're both so busy, and a lot of times I'm out of town. But when we do get to play together, it's really special and a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
especially when it's kind of like a low stress thing.
Mm.
Um, like that day, he was just playing on cajon. He wasn't as worried about getting exact stops and everything right and leading the band, which
Yeah.
can be a little bit more stressful when he's being like my full kit drummer. Um, but but yeah, like when we get to like just hang out and have a good time, then it's just a blast.
That's awesome. I love to see couples play music together and whatnot. I've said for years, I mean, I've been so blessed to play with so many different musicians, but I think there's something really special when my husband plays with me because I think he knows probably what I'm going to do before I do it. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think just like when he sings harmony, like he sings harmony on all my records, but it's just like siblings, it's like you got that connection and that thing. And people
Mhm.
also don't think my husband speaks, but, know, he, and he's like so sweet and he's so quiet. He does the same thing. He just like, I just play the guitar, I haul in the gear. He's like, this is my job. So, but yeah, husbands are great. They're
Oh yeah.
wonderful.
He's the best, and he's next year he's actually going to switch out of teaching music. So we're kind of hoping like that might allow him to have more of that like creative energy to want to get out there and play music again himself. So
Yes.
hopefully there'll be more of us playing together soon.
That's so awesome. Well, good for him and good for you. I think that's so
Yeah.
great. And teaching is such an admirable thing. I mean, kudos and props to him. It's a really special thing. I have a lot of teachers in my family, and I feel like it's just a job that we need, and especially teaching music. I mean, I think of music to me, and please tell me if you relate to this, but it's like music changed my life. Like I do not know where I would be without it. And so I love, people just being able to teach others, an instrument or whatever. It's kind of life changing. So do you feel like music, like, would you do anything else other than music? Or do you think music is just like your thing? Like,
Yeah, I think music is just my thing, and while I do like enjoy doing some other things, um, I think I always kind of came back to music and wanting to be an artist and a writer.
yeah,
And I think before I fully just surrendered and did this, I think my brain was constantly being like, "Oh, I could do this career, this career, this career." And then when I finally just like dug in, like I haven't really thought twice about it. Like I've been like, "No, this is what I do. This is what I'm doing."
yeah, yeah.
There's no other options at this point.
Right. Yeah. No. And I love that. I love that. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us today. This has just been so wonderful. And I've known that you're great for clearly a while, and I'm so glad that you agreed to be on here. And I'm sure everyone listening is like, wow, this girl's awesome. So you guys, please go check Crystal out online, listen to her new record, go see her at a show, just go support her and show her some love because she deserves it.
Oh, thank you. And congratulations on this podcast and all the things you've got going on, because you've been a busy girl too. So
Yeah, thank you.
I'm looking forward to writing again and hanging out soon.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say, I know you have a bunch of shows coming up and all, so we'll definitely have to get together when we're not both touring and whatnot. But no, I just appreciate you being on though and supporting us as we dive into this thing. It means a lot, and you have such a great story. So hopefully I'll get to come see you at one of your shows or something soon. So
I'd love
awesome. Great. Well, guys, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave us a review. Let us know that you're here and that you're listening. This has been a lot of fun. And I guess we'll see y'all down the road next time. Take care. God bless. Bye.